Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? Society up on the barrio, coming back at you with another video for your butt. Oh man, I was so wasted last night when I made my video, and so I watched it today, and I was tripping on how many comments I got on it, and that wasn't at all my what I was going after. I really just wanted to finally answer that guy, why I don't really respond to all the comments anymore. Because I feel like also, like, if I respond to a couple comments, I have to respond to all the comments. I can't respond to just a couple, so unless it's a question, I feel like I need an answer. But that was really what I all I wanted to say was answer that guy why I don't, kind of tell the story how I got to the point where, like, okay, where I decided I'm not really gonna answer comments anymore. And believe me, a couple of people mentioned that in the comments responding to that video is it is a lot less stressful when you don't worry. It is like an added stress, it's just a hobby. It can begin to feel like a job, trying to respond to everybody's comments. But that's all I wanted to do, was just answer that guy, and since he deleted his comment now, nobody could know who it was. But then when I was sober watching it, I was like, well, that guy said he stopped following me, so now he's not even gonna watch the video because he doesn't follow me anymore. So it's whatever. But yeah, I took the day off of work today. Got playoffs tomorrow, working the Dodgers tomorrow and Wednesday against the Reds. And I took the day off because I needed to catch up on my house. Like, if you don't understand, I go to work, leave my house like before 5 a.m. and I don't come home till like 11:30. So my yard, like, I can't afford I can't say I can't afford, to be realistic, to be real. If I didn't have a hobby, I could afford to cut my own, hire somebody to cut my yard, So a sacrifice for me to have money to buy cards is I cut my own yard, I guess, But I haven't had a chance, with all these homestands, and then went camping when I wasn't on a homestand. So yeah, my yard was a little bit unrepresentable. It wasn't bad, but yeah, it wasn't up to the Pepino standards. But anyways, I don't know. I that's kind of all I wanted to say. I got like a little bit of time right now when nobody's home. After I finish all my priestly duties. And I don't know, I guess I you do a lot of thinking. I'm out there gardening. I tore out all my old flowers that died because I didn't water them for like 2 weeks, so they died, and we were in the 90s and hundreds here. So they died, and so I went to Lowe's today and I replaced them all, planted all new plants, new flowers. So I feel happy. I got stuff done today. It was a productive day in my life. It always feels good to be productive. And the sun was out, so I took the guns out. Just kidding. I ain't got no guns. But yeah, I was thinking a lot about the hobby and how, like, a lot of things have changed. And I mentioned this before. The hobby is changing big time. But my hobby hasn't changed. Like, you don't have to change. Like, it's like cars. I don't like new cars. All these sensors. Like, I have a 2015 and it's too advanced for me. Like, I have too many sensors. One of my stupid sensors on my tire gauge went out. So because of that, my check engine light is on, because the valve to fill the air for the tire is on. My check engine light is on, and I need a smog, and I can't smog it till I replace that part, which is like $300 and something, which is stupid. And it's a hybrid car, so I need a new battery. You know how much that battery is? $2,500 for that battery for the hybrid car. So just to get my damn smog is gonna cost me over $3,000. Don't like the new cars, but I have an old truck so I could keep driving that, you know. And that's kind of how my hobby is like. There's new stuff out there. You could go with the new hobby, the breakers, flippers, whatever you're talking about, new products, or you could keep on the same path, man. Stay on your road, and that's what I do. You know, I'm still a set collector. You know, I don't have to deal with all the drama that everybody else is dealing with. My Mickey Mantles aren't dropping in prices because they didn't have a good year, like a lot of people have, like with their players now. You know, so it's like cars could change, but you can still drive your old car and not participate in the new car era. Same thing with baseball cards in the hobby. You can just keep collecting like you did in the 80s and 90s, and don't worry too much about like what's going on now. You know, and but it can burn you. It can burn you. Right before, that's what this video is going to be about, but you know how I get when I start drinking and smoking, I could get a little off track. But so what I wanted to share, I got a notification on somebody selling a 72 Topps starter set. So the 72 Topps is, I don't have a starter set yet. So I have a stunt binder. You know, I have a stump binder there that doesn't have any 72s in it, just saving the place for when I do get 72 started. So it looks like that's about to happen. At least I hope. And the reason I say that is I looked at the post and he said he had like 300 cards from the 72 set, no high numbers, but that it doesn't matter to me, you know. It just makes it a greater hunt, I guess, like people call it nowadays. So, but I was like, you know, $1 a card to me is a great deal. So I was like, yeah, you know, yeah, I'll buy it. I see he wanted $330 shipped for it, and some people made offers like 200, and everybody was lowballing them like sick. And all I put is, hey, I'm interested. And so he told me like, well, how much are you willing to pay? And I said 300, and he said, how about 310? I said, yeah, that sounds good to me. I was gonna pay 330, but you asked me, like, so keeping with like Lou Rock and baseball collector, like everybody's like, no, you got a bargain, don't ever pay sticker, like this and that. That's just not me. But this guy gave me that opportunity, so I said 300, and he countered with 310. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could have probably countered with, I don't know, if I would have countered 320, he probably would have came back with 310 anyways, or agreed on so I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. So he just sent me his PayPal, and boom, like that, I sent it. And so I sent him $310. So then he was like, cool, I'll send them tomorrow. They'll be out tomorrow. And I was like, okay. And then my wife saw me that I had my bank card out because since I have a new phone, this is the first time I had to reload the PayPal, because, you know, I deleted, and I had to reload it so I could send this guy the money. That was the only way I was going to get this starter set. And so she saw me using my bank card. She's like, who you sending money to? And I said, oh, I'm buying some cards. So, do you know this guy? And I just like, well, yeah, he's in my group. That's all I said. And I don't know who the guy is. I have no idea who the guy is. So after she said that, I went to his profile, and it says profile details or something, and job description, friends, and this and that, and everything said, what does it say? Like not available or no nothing. So no job description, no friends, no profile. The profile was like basically empty, no pictures. It had one picture, just his profile picture, but it didn't have any posts, nothing. So I'm hoping I don't get burned, but I'm the kind of person that has faith in humanity, and hopefully I get my cards, you know. And if I don't, oh well. Lesson learned, I guess. This is why I don't trust social media and PayPal, or, you know, like, everybody like at Dodgers, there's this guy who's always collecting like for the lottery, the lotto when it was getting in the billions, and everybody would give him like $20. And I would always say, hey, I'll give you cash. And he's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you have PayPal? Why don't you have Zelle? Why don't you have this? I was like, I don't have anything. He's like, how the hell do you live? How do you pay your bills? I say, in person. You know, I pay my car bills in person, my utilities in person, my phone bill in person. I pay everything in person. I don't pay online. Yeah, I'm just old school, and I keep it that way. And I know it's dumb. I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little bit of the extra mile, but it lets me sleep better at night, you know, so I could just jack off and pop one off and go to bed without worrying about being ripped off. And so we'll see about these $310. Hopefully I'll get my cards, and I think I will. But yeah, it made me think when my wife said, do you know him? And I just kind of like just said, oh yeah, he's in one of my groups. And he's in a group I belong to, but I had no idea who he is. But yeah, it did trip me out when I went to his profile. No information was available on anything, no posts, no job description, no nothing. So I'm gambling, you know. I'm gambling, but I'm not a gambling man. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, you know, that's the way it is, man. The hobby's changing. So I had to do that. That's a little bit, I guess, to me keeping up with the time. And yeah, but things change. Things change in the hobby. You never know. Like growing up, I hated the Star Jordan cards. They're so generic to me. They weren't real cards. They were advertising cards. And forever, nobody considered Star cards as rookie. But then you get influencers, Gary Vee, Sports Card Dad, Jeff Wilson, who weren't even collecting, who are new, who came back, you know, and they're teaching you like, hey, this is his real rookie card, when forever every collector I've ever known, his 87 Fleer rookie was his rookie card. And the hobby is changing that. Influencers, like now the new people are dictating what his rookie card is, you know, and that's just the way it is. You got to accept it, you know, so it is what it is. Like one thing, let's say car brands, like that's one thing I told, like when people were saying like, oh, his Star card is iconic, I was like, no, it's not. Nobody gave a shit about that card for 30-40 years. How you gonna tell me it's iconic, you know? But now it is. So it's changing, and like, hey, it is what it is. If it is now, but never will be to me, because I grew up saying that's not a real card. It's like a generic card. It's not even a real card, you know. But hey, like I was the kind of person that would normally take advantage of that, but the Star card didn't appeal to me. It was so cheap back then. I could have bought it when it was cheap, but I don't miss it. I don't consider that FOMO. I don't have that fear of missing out. Like, oh, I missed out. I want that Star card now. No, you're never gonna convince me that that's his real rookie card. You know, like this Kobe Sage card. All right, number 280. All right, Kobe autograph, number 280. It's a Sage. Nobody gave a damn about Sage when I got that card like in 2017. So because it was a Sage, I got that card for like $60, maybe 80. I think I bought 2 cards and it was another card and I got them for 80. But because it was a Kobe Bryant auto when he was wearing number 8, this card numbered to 80. Where's the number? It's number 8. Is it number 8? It's number 8 out of 80, I think. So it's a jersey number. But because it was a Sage, nobody cared about that card. The guy that I bought it from was trying to buy it, and people were like, it's a Sage. It's not a real card. You know what I mean? But I was like, hey, to me, it's still the Kobe Bryant auto. You know? And then when you got these goofballs like Jeff Wilson and Gary Vee hyping them up, like another, the prices went up. So like after COVID, that card shot up to like, I don't remember if it was $1,000 or $3,000, you know, and then it went back down like way after COVID. And people are saying, oh, you should have sold it when it was $3,000. Now it's only $1,000. I was like, you lost $2,000. I was like, how did I lose $2,000? Am I missing $2,000 in my bank account? No, I bought it for 60 and now it's worth 1,000. How did I lose 2,000? I don't get that logic. You know, it's that's flipper people, that's Wall Street people thinking like potential, you know, and I don't think that way. So that doesn't bother me. You know, so when other people make these videos, inside sometimes I get angry and I want to go on their comments, you know, and just say like, hey, you know, just tell them how I feel. But sometimes when you don't agree with people, and I'm not saying my comment out of malice, they take it as that because you don't agree with them. So I'd rather just not comment at all. You know what I mean? Because I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just expressing my opinion. And I don't know if that applies here where you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Because like, well, I'm not saying anything mean either. But if you don't agree with some people, they think you're against them and you are being mean to them and you're being a dick. And it's like, I'm not. I'm just like telling you my experience, like how I feel about it. But like, you can't express yourself anymore, man. People are soft. You know, I like other people's opinions. I like, hey, well, why do you think that? Oh, cool. Like you have different life experience. That's why you think that. Cool. You know, like, okay, cool. But now you can't do that. So yeah, I mean, so like I said, I just keep collecting the way I do, and you should too. Whatever makes you happy. It's just a trip. The hobby has changed. I wouldn't say the hobby has changed. The new hobby is different than the old hobby. Would probably be a better way of saying it. You know. Like, do you guys really believe that they gave a Mike Trout a pack and he pulls up Mike Trout auto? Do you really think that was random? You know, they gave that guy who drew that Shohei Ohtani card, they gave him packs and he pulls his own card. Like, is that really random? Do you guys really believe that's random? As hard as it is to just pull a good card, to pull your card, autograph, like the grail of your, like, is that really random? I don't know. I find it hard to believe. It could be, but my spider senses were tickling, saying something's wrong here. So, it's marketing. It's great marketing. But that could be bad for the hobby, you know? In the end, in the long run, it could hurt Topps. Like, who remembers a few years ago when they were saying like Topps wasn't going to exist anymore? Do you guys remember that? Where like Topps was supposed to go out of business? Like Topps wasn't going to exist anymore. And I'm not going to lie, because I collect sets, and every year I chase the sets that are coming out. So I was like, maybe it'll be a good thing for the way I hobby if I don't have to spend $1,000 trying to complete the 2026 set, trying to complete the 2027 set. Now I can focus on my older sets or on player cards that I really want, dream cards that I want, but I can't because my money is going all over the place trying to complete these new sets. And I'm a set builder, so that means I put my sets through packs. So I gotta waste $1,000 to put a set together that's worth $50, you know. And Topps is always almost gonna eliminate that from my hobby. And I was like, hey, maybe that's not so bad. And then Fanatics came along and fucked that up. Fanatics came along, fucked that up for me, and kept Topps going. But I'm glad it did. But I'm not happy with the way they're coming out with, you know, the way they're handling things. Like, they're making money, but that's what it's about, making money. It's not about the collector anymore, and it is what it is. So that's what I was saying, is like, I'm not thrilled about the way the new hobby is coming out. So but I still have my old hobby. I have two hobbies. I hate saying that. I have one hobby, and the hobby used to be almost pretty commonly, and everybody kind of felt the same, and everybody kind of agreed on things. And now it has so many layers, you know. But Yeah, I'm rambling, man. I don't know if anybody actually watches these things. Oh, and Tops had a van. Maybe I'll put that on a short on live. They had a Tops van that came and they were giving out cards. So they gave out these packs. And they had a trading station and they had a where you can make your own they would take your picture there and make your own custom card for free. And I tried to stay in the line, but it was just taking too long. I had to get back to work. It took too long. I had to get back to work, so I had to skip that part. And I know you could do that online, but you have to pay. So it would have been kind of cool to just have it done for free there because they happen to be there. All right, so well, I think that's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna pause this and have a drink and restart my smoke again and think. Like, I don't know if I want to say anything else. I don't know if I mess up doing these drunk rambling videos. One thing I do gotta say is I'm coming close to my lumpy set, so I'm gonna hopefully be able to go to a card shop this week. Burbank, see if they have some cards that I need. I don't need that many. And people, please, like my lumpy set, my donkey lumpy. My lumpy set, the 71 Black Beauty set. I have to finish that by this year, and I'm just realizing now the year is getting shorter, so I really have to be on my game, and I need to finish this set for my donkey. All right, guys, I'm done. All right, but love the hobby. Just keep collecting baseball cards forever, I said. Ciao! Be you. Got my eye on you. Got my eye on you. Oh, my ball. My ball. My eyeball.